if they ever want to make another dollar, they have to come back and negotiate with us.
I think that non-creative people always think creative people are replaceable.
Woo! He going crazy.
A friend of mine said, you might not get some of this stuff till hell freezes over. And I said, buy a parka, because we're not going home until we get this stuff.
I don't know if I'm ever going to make it as a creative. Now, I have faith in the best possible scenario, but sometimes that faith wavers. For example, maybe I just don't sense progress from what I've done in the past. Maybe my mind is blocking me off from ideas for the future. Or maybe I just don't feel validated in what I'm doing right now. Whatever the case may be, either internal or external, in this world I constantly feel pressure to let go of that best case scenario. But that can't be it, I thought to myself. Isn't there some way I can strengthen my faith, even if I feel the pressure to let it go? And that's when I remembered it had been going on for the past couple months. The writer's strike, where writers from all across the US were stepping out from their jobs in order to protest unfair working conditions. And after seeing their persistence for this long, I couldn't help but feel that this is exactly what I needed. And so I set out to be right there with them. I figured that if anyone had a strong sense of faith, it would be those for who what they thought was right were willing to put their lives on the line. It's just Fitz, and after 3 days of striking, this is all I've documented and all I've learned. And so I arrived at Warner Brothers Studios, eager to take on the world of the strike. Unfortunately, I was equally as ignorant on how that world worked. Yo! We're striking here, man!
They're honking for the strike.
Oh, they're honking for, it's for the strike. Oh, never mind, keep honking then! It was clear that if I wanted to get anywhere, I would need to seek a guide. Someone to contextualize me to the world I was diving into. Luckily for me, I was coming across my first group of strikers, hoping one of them could give me the clarity that I needed. Would any of you guys be willing to have an interview real quick?
I'm not a writer, but I'd be happy to talk to you.
All right, sure. So what is your name?
My name's David.
And at first, I thought he would be the one to guide me through the world of striking. However, halfway through our interview, we were ambushed by, a swarm of bees. Warner Brothers, get your stuff together before these bees come out to you. You best believe it. I was shocked, because as funny as my joke was, only one man laughed. Stop, bro.
Good.
Thank you, sir. Are you a writer?
Yeah, I'm actually on the board of directors.
This was John Rogers, one of the 16 board of directors for the Writers Guild of America in the West. And thanks to the bees, I was put in the perfect position to have a conversation with him.
The strike is important because the middle-class job of writing is being threatened from a variety of different changes in the way we make film, television, and comedy variety by the studio, amongst them Warner Brothers behind me.
And it's those same studios that are all a part of a producer alliance called the AMPTP. Essentially, it's their job to negotiate where the money goes across the entertainment industry. Every 3 years or so, contracting a new agreement with the Writers Guild of America. However, this time around, that agreement wasn't made. Because with the new abundance of streaming services and the advancement of artificial intelligence, writers settling on a half-assed deal can mean the end of their full-time professional careers. And so instead of striking up that deal, the writers strike the industry. I was finally starting to understand.
Much to their credit.
They tried to bamboozle y'all.
Yeah, they haven't shot for a couple days now.
But not only was John willing to teach the context, he was also willing to paint the picture.
In this business, in so many other businesses, the bosses have forgotten that the workers aren't a cost, they're the source of value. The 8 CEOs of 10 of the big companies that are here, between them were paid $755 million in 1 year. Everything we're asking for all 12,000 members of the board would be less than half that.
But with such easy demands to meet, I wondered, why do you think they're not letting up?
I think a lot of it's control, because in their heads, if they give in, they lose face and they lose power.
So far, it seemed as though the full force of human greed was pit against the writers. But even still, I wondered if John had the faith that everything would play out in their favor.
We don't know how it's going to go because we're not dealing with rational actors. What we hope is that it will resolve quickly when they eventually see that we're not going anywhere. Woo! Yeah.
As our conversation came to a close, one thing was made very clear. This was a battle of endurance, both sides having faith the other would give in. But how does one garner a sense of faith for a battle that could last an eternity? Well, now that I finally had the context,
Get out there.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to march for y'all. Like, that's what it is.
100%.
and eventually a sign of my own,
There we go.
Like straightforward to the point.
I was fully equipped, finally ready to take on the strike. I just, didn't know exactly what to do. But after seeing the honking was for the strike, I thought that perhaps getting more honks would be the best way to immerse myself. And so, I began the hustle for honks.
Support the riders. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Honk for riders. Yes, sir. Quick.
Get on top of there. On top of there.
Oh, on top of this?
Yeah.
No. Support the cause, man. Support the cause.
He's rolling up.
Oh, he's rolling up. Look, give us a honk for the riders right now, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, y'all have a good day, man. Y'all appreciate it, man. Appreciate y'all.
Honk hustling was a success, but for some reason, something felt missing.
You know what's crazy? I'm just looking at the sign now. It just kind of goes to show how much people take advantage of creativity. It makes me wonder if this is my fate as a creator as well. But, you know, all these people that are standing out today, that are fighting for the right cause, it gives me a little bit of hope.
But of course, I was all but a fool to believe I could get the full experience of striking all by myself. Certainly, I had to participate with other people.
Yo, it's really just me out here, man. Like, where the rest of the riders at? I think we should circle back because we got a little lost.
Though when I got back, I noticed that everybody was packing up and getting ready to go home. That's when I realized it was 4:30 and the strike ended at 5 every day. Could it be that I wasted all of my time hustling for honks when there was something more important I could have been a part of? Yes, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Let me get one more. Yes, sir.
Luckily for me, after asking around, I found out there was another picket location nearby called The Ranch, said to have more people. However, it was 0.6 miles away. And with a limited amount of time before the strike ended for the day, we couldn't waste another second. So after fueling up, we got on our way. The clock was ticking. I was running, sprinting, bolting as fast as I could. I didn't even take a second to catch my breath. Yo, like, look at me sprint on these modes, bro. Like, if I didn't make it to the ranch in time, I wouldn't be able to experience the strike with other people. That's right, a complete failure. But soon enough, I finally made it.
Hey, are y'all wrapping up?
Oh, yes, we are.
Oh, dang.
Sorry.
That's a little embarrassing for me.
And that was that. My first day of striking had ended as a complete failure. But I wasn't going to give up. Come day 2, everything was going to change, or so I thought. I didn't manage to make it back to the strike in 2 weeks, but when I did, things felt different. People were a lot more hesitant to speak, and the overall vibe just felt tense. Could it be that something had happened within the past 2 weeks to shift the energy?
He's gotta talk to the supervisor.
He's not feeling it.
He's not feeling it?
Whatever it was, I was stuck.
Dang. This is tough.
Doubting if I had any right to be there to begin with. Suddenly, I was pointed in the direction of somebody that would be able to speak.
Let's drive over that way.
Okay.
Whoever they were, I was hoping that they'd be able to add some clarity as to why things felt so different.
Oh, that's our guy. We talked to him last time.
Wait, is that?
Yo! John Rogers! How's it been today, though? You been all right?
Yeah, it's great. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and we got people out at every gates, and you can tell people are kind of settling in from the early enthusiasm to like, all right, man, we're here for as long as it takes.
That would explain it. The reason why the strike had felt so different is because the strategy had changed, and now the strikers were locked in. Even as greedy CEOs hoarded the money, and the advancement of artificial intelligence threatened creative integrity. Writers like John continued to believe they had a duty to uphold to the best case scenario.
No, new original voices are always going to emerge. That's the nature of humanity. And our job is to create an entertainment industry that makes that flourish.
It was almost as though every reason they had to believe was an answer to a calling much higher than themselves.
The human desire to make something that is your own and then show it to other people so they can enjoy it, That's eternal. And that's not just good entertainment, that is a social good. It makes you look inside somebody else's viewpoint. It makes you live their life for a little while. And you can't replace that.
It was as if I was looking in a mirror to a future version of myself that made it past any doubt and established their creative voice. And so I wondered how I, or anyone else, could build the strength to do the same.
That's always your question, right? Like, I've been doing this 30 years, and there's days I get up like, I don't know why I'm doing this, man.
But it seemed as though even John ran into this issue from time to time, which made me think perhaps no one was immune to wavering, and that no matter how many reasons I had to trust in a desired outcome, by nature of me being human, I could still feel doubt. But as John continued, I realized that may not be a bad thing after all.
If you're waking up and going, is my voice going to be heard? All you can do is go out and try to make your voice heard and try to find other people to work with you who believe in you and you believe in them. And maybe nobody but one or two other people will hear it, but you know what? You change them, you connected with them. That's all you can ask for.
According to John, it was those moments where we doubted our own voice that allowed space for others to speak into our lives, thus producing better art or stronger faith than we ever could have had on our own. This is exactly what drove him to come back to the strike every day.
Look at the beard.
It's a good beard.
Thank you, but it's white. I'm almost done. Like, I'm out here fighting for that generation of writers. There's always going to be people trying to get the next generation of voices out.
After hearing John's words, I felt strengthened, as if somebody was fighting to build the faith that I sometimes wavered in.
I feel like every time we talk to him, we learn a little bit of something new. Although we haven't been super active within the strike in and of itself, we're still doing a whole lot of learning. Dang. Oh, they gotta drive around all of that.
Bit by bit, piece by piece, I was coming to a new understanding that perhaps doubt was never the enemy, but actually a tool to help make my faith stronger. That being said, there was still one thing left for me to do before I was satisfied. Strike with more people. Unfortunately for me, I showed up late again and everybody was already packing up. I'm sorry. Okay, look. There's good news. Bro, you need to chill. Like, think about I'm literally about to show you.
Pan Pacific Park, there's gonna be another thing going on?
Yeah, huge rally. We're all gonna march together.
The very next day, there is going to be a huge striking event called WGA Strong, where riders from every single picket line would get together and rally in one place. With this in mind, I just had to be there to support the riders, accomplish my goal. And there was no way that I was gonna be late. I was running late. Yeah, man, Ubers in the city are pretty expensive, so, I had to take the bus.
All right, we got a little bit of a journey to go on. We're still a little bit of a ways away from Pan Pacific Park from the bus. We're going to be a part of this, whether you like it or not.
Fire by force.
By fire, by force. There will be people at this. And hopefully food, because my cameraman's hungry.
On the way, I ran into plenty of supportive strikers that were walking in the opposite direction, meaning whatever they were coming from had probably wrapped up. It was then again where I felt it, the pressure to give up on the best case scenario. But even as that pressure pushed against me, I kept walking. Because I think at some point, I realized that having strong faith isn't about never wavering, but continuing to move forward, even if I did. And based on that, I eventually made it.
Well, guys, for the longest time, I've been coming out trying to do my best to support the writer's strike, but I felt like I've been doing it alone. I think I hear some shouting coming from that direction, and hopefully I can actually be a part of this. It's one thing to stand up and fight for what you want on your own, but it's a whole nother thing to have other people fighting alongside of you. So let's go see. Hopefully I'm not the only one, but let's check it. Woo! That feels good. Whew. That feels good, man. Look at all the people. I'm not alone anymore. Woo! This is fire. Let's go walk around a little bit.
Like the fact that you see like a lot of people coming out and supporting each other, it's really important.
Hey, how are you doing today?
How's it going, man?
My name is Fitz Journeys. We have a YouTube channel, and I wanted to see if I could get an interview with you real quick.
Sure, man.
If that's all right? All right, cool. You said something just now. We're gonna win.
Yeah.
How have you come to that conclusion?
No, it's not just confidence.
Yeah.
It's facts. It's like knowing
Yeah.
the situation. If you organize with your fellow workers, not by yourself, but you have to organize with all the fellow workers
Right.
in order to occasionally say, hey, f*** you, we have power, We're not going to let you pay us less. We're not going to let you erode our working conditions. Every single worker has that kind of power if you recognize it and employ it.
Let me cook. Although we may not know our outcomes for sure, whether it be to receive more money or to make it as a creative, I think something really beautiful happens when we unionize with others. Because not only does doubt become less scary, but the best case scenario becomes more visible. And sometimes, just sometimes, that's all we need to see to move a little further. So thanks to all of the writers and everyone else participating at the strike.
Yes, sir. Ooh, what do we got here?
Sweet spicy garlic, might take a sweet chili sauce.
Okay.
Cambodian dirt.
Would you be mad if I reviewed the chicken right now?
You review the chicken.
I have faith that everything will end in your favor. It's Fitz, just Fitz, and I overthought this, so you don't have to. Peace. Hey guys, this video was brought to you by Slap Muan.
There you go, said it perfectly.
You know what I'm saying?
That means?
What does that mean?
That's a Cambodian word for chicken wings.
Oh, word, Slap Muan.